Alright, so normally this is how I, when they do the credits, I kind of do my, like, quick recap, I guess, or my thought process on it. You know, like, what I, like, my, man, sorry, um, like a review. Honestly, I heard so much bad about this game when it came out, and I was looking forward to it prior to that. I've been burned so many times on pre-ordering anything. Don't pre-order anything. That needs to stop being a thing. Like, don't pre-order anything at all, ever, anymore. That's my advice. Not because of this game, but just because games in general. They don't release, like, I don't have the same hate for Cyberpunk 2077 that most people do. I didn't see the same problems that other people did, but I also didn't. I don't know. I just whatever. They fixed stuff. So did this game. I didn't play this game day one, and I'm just saying, just don't pre-order games anymore. That shouldn't be a thing. We shouldn't do that. Games should have to earn our everything. You know, they should have to earn us to buy it. It sucks to have to wait or whatever, but I don't know. I think it would make a difference if everybody didn't pre order any games ever. You know, for like 2 or 3 days, just to see, like, because there's going to be some people who are going to scab or whatever. And they're going to, buy and play the game and have already played the game and stuff. Because they're testers or whatever. It's fine. But if nobody did that, they might actually start having to make sure that they, finished the game when they put it out. And, the day one patch is totally like a thing. And, it's a thing. It helps games be able to launch sooner and stuff. And I actually did learn a little bit about how this process was for this whole game was created. It seems to me very much that the people who were part of this, Volition and everybody who was part of it, a lot of people quit, a lot of people like left. And it was a difficult project in the sense that, like, how do you follow up the previous Saints Row's games without doing the same thing? You do a new thing, but not everybody's going to be happy, blah, 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 there's conflict, yada, yada. That was a problem. But it's my understanding that everybody who did stick around and did do the game and they really wanted to. And there was a lot of crunch time. There was a lot of unpleasant industry shit that I don't understand. Like, I don't know how much it takes away, how much effort they have to. I'm a gamer, not a programmer. I don't do all that other stuff. I don't know any of that. I know a little bit about the industry, and that's it. And I will admit that. And it seems like a lot of what happened with this game is, the pandemic, and that they had multiple thought processes on what should be made out of the game, and not everybody agreed. And I'm playing it now. Like, it came out in something 2022, and I'm playing it in 23. I enjoyed this. This was fun. Was it what I expected? No. Was it the sort of, like, like a normal Saints Row game? Not really. No. It was a reboot. They did change a lot of things. They never explained the wingsuit, and that's a little irksome for me, I guess, or maybe I missed it. But I do know that I got it for free through the PSN subscription plus thing, and I didn't even try the other two games. I haven't even looked up their like I looked at their trailers, but I haven't even like looked at whether or not they're worthwhile at all. Like I haven't even like researched them at all to try to play them. I've only focused on this because I was enjoying it so much. Now I know that there was like a patch and multiple patches and stuff and upgrade, that were released to make the game less glitchy and fix stuff and blah 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 blah, and that's awesome. Especially when it's a game like this that didn't do well upon sale because it was rushed out and crunch time and all that. I do think that Volition is no longer a thing. Like it is, it has passed. It stopped. It died. It went bankrupt or whatever. And that is really sad to me because they did give us a lot of really fun games. And I don't like that. You know, is this the Saints Row game that I think the world wanted? No. Is this a fun game? Yes. Now, at this moment, after all the everything, you know, I enjoyed it. I don't get to the end credits of a lot of games. I don't. I just don't. Like, nobody's watching the channel. Nobody fucking follows me through all these things. I make playlists, but I very rarely get to the end of the game by myself. If I do, that's something of an accomplishment. But usually, if I'm playing with somebody else, I have more reason to do the thing. But this is just me playing this game, and I just enjoyed it. And I enjoyed the other Saints Row games. You know, I've played, I think, most of the early ones, and then I kind of fell off after it got to the point where they were like going to hell and all that stuff. I think the last one that I really enjoyed was the Matrixy one, because it was super cool that they kind of mixed in like the superpower thing, and that was really fun. For me, I thought that was a lot of fun. That's how they kind of gained an edge on GTA, but it was never supposed to be GTA. It's its own thing. They kind of went back and sort of started the cycle again, and it could have been more wacky, more zany, more whatever. I feel like...
Pay attention to me.
What the... Don't say pay attention to me. I'm watching the thing. It was... I enjoyed it. I liked it. You know? I liked it. Would I have been happy with it if I paid full price for it? Probably not. Not on day one. Not whatever... I don't know fully the glitches and bugs and whatever that they had. The game had its problems at this point, but they all were pretty small to me. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought the writing for the characters was really enjoyable. It made me care about them, and I think that's something that needs to be acknowledged. I cared about each of those fucking characters. Even the cat. Fucking Snickerdoodle. You know? I cared about them. Was it as epic as it could have been? Did it meet the expectations created by the trailer? No. I don't think there's ever... That whole missile that they shot in the trailer, I don't even think... Maybe I never got that. Maybe I could have. I don't know. I'm just saying, I never saw that. Whatever. It's... trailers are trailers,
whatever. We can progress the plot at your convenience.
Is she just gonna sit there and, like, mock me like I'm not moving? I'm sitting here, like, trying to be nice. I enjoyed the game. I realized that things happen, and I'm sorry that the studio seemingly has gone down. It makes me sad to think that there won't be any more Saints Row. I still enjoyed this game. at this moment, at this time, after they did, whatever they could, based on, you know, the fact that it didn't release well, but they still followed through as well as they could. You know, some games are like, fuck, I can't remember. That one where they're in space and it was like nothing at all like it said it was going to be, and then years later it's amazing. And then like Fallout 76 was such a debacle, and then it got better over time, and then like Cyberpunk, same thing, even though I enjoyed Cyberpunk basically from day one. Um, I don't know, maybe I'm not a good judgment. There's other, a lot of games just are like that, but I enjoyed the game. And again, I'm not playing it from day one. But I'm sad that there won't be more. I would have preferred certain things like more bladed melee weapons. It seems like they did focus a lot on the guns, and that's understandable. Most people are going to use that, but a lot of the powers were like melee based, or at least it seemed that way to me.
I
It's
could
cool.
stare at this forever.
It's cool that you had powers, and it's cool that you could map them and choose and sort of customize your character. That you had multiple bosses that you could sort of save and sort of switch between. I really like that. Um, Customizing your weapons, customizing your vehicles, also great. Kind of expect that at this point from them, but would have really appreciated if, I could have like, give me a kukri, give me some knives, like give me a dual wield knife build, give me I don't know. Like, I think that there's like a perk that I didn't get yet or whatever that was about, you know, dual wielding, and maybe that applies to weapon to that. The only thing I could dual wield that I think I could dual wield is the punchy guns, which is pretty still cool. The punchy guns are awesome. And there's other things to explore and look into, and there's a lot of like Easter eggs that were really fun. Like they had the Doctor Strangelove one. They have uh, other ones. I'm not like I don't remember if I saw this myself or I saw it in a video, but they have one for it. I mean that the dancing, the whatever thing. It's like there's a lot of references to things, and that's what's a big part of the fun. Finding things. It would have been nice if they just explained the wingsuit that you had. The wingsuit that would have.
I'm
That
sure
was just.
standing here
That
is
was
the
just
best
some.
use of my time.
That was just something that always bothered me. Just that that never got explained. Like, but I loved each of the individual characters. I even liked Nuwali. I didn't like the twist at the end with him sort of being like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go 100% like psycho. I'm gonna kill you and try to live your life" thing, and then that didn't work, so he killed like all the saints, and then like somehow formed his own little weird Wally cult thing, and that so many people were down for it. Like how long was I dead? I don't know. It didn't seem like it was that long, but who knows? It yeah. Um, that was I didn't like that because I did spend time with him, and it's like apparently I that seems like that was an unavoidable thing. Like I couldn't stop it. No matter how much a friend I was to him, it was gonna happen that way anyway. He was just gonna be a dick and just be like, "I'm an usurper, haha." Even when they obviously don't like it and they don't want this, and yeah, I don't really like that. That twist I didn't really like. Like he wasn't that great in the first place.
I feel like there's something I'm
And
supposed to be doing.
that's so annoying that he wasn't even that great in the first place. Like, he was on his own before I broke him out. After that, he really wasn't that great. Like, having played through the game and tried to hang out with him as much as possible, he really wasn't that great. He died the first time we had a mission to put the hovercraft bikes away. And yeah, that's partially on me because I was just too busy swinging away with an axe like I like to, but you know who didn't die? Everybody else. Who was also there. He did. And I kind of failed to revive him. That almost would make sense if it was like, oh yeah, no, it's about the fact that he failed. Like, maybe if they wrote multiple endings where if you let somebody die enough, oh, Snickerdoodle was played by Izzy. Cool. I don't know if that's an actual. I assume that's an actual cat. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. Like, I enjoyed the game. There are things that I think could have been done better, and I'm playing it with the hindsight without actually having to experience it originally. I think it was good, and I didn't get to enjoy any of the music because they were kind enough to do the streaming thing where I don't stream, but yeah, I am now seeing the music that was in it, but I like that they gave you the option to be nakedy. I think that's pretty cool. Most games don't let you do that. There could have been more dances and emotes, in my opinion. I feel like they gave you pretty good options for clothing and customization of the character. I did make one that looked something like Ryan Reynolds' character from Free Guy. Or, that's what it's called, Free Guy? Yeah. And they have a game. There's a song called Harley Quinn. Well, now I'm gonna have to look that up. But anyway, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It was a little glitchy here and there. There were problems here and there. AI was crazy here and there. Blah 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 blah. One thing that was just really frustrating is that you could always, you could theoretically have friends. I didn't play co-op,
God
but
damn, I'm bored.
but you could theoretically have, your core 4 or whatever come hang out with you, and you even had a power that I never once used that could have some of the saints that were nameless saints come show up and help you. It just sucked that you often couldn't use your contacts because the mission itself wasn't tailored to that, and I get it. Like, that does make sense. Like, I'm annoyed, but also it makes sense. Like, I get it. The handling of each car was its own thing, so you had to get used to that. That made sense. I could deal with that. You can upgrade them and all that. Didn't really ever notice any benefit to the upgrades of paying for an upgrade, that is, for any weapon. Like, there's a little meter there, and they're like, oh, that little yellow is a little better. Didn't really notice it. The only thing I ever notice is when you actually complete the thing and it does something. But a lot of those were real hard to do. Like, some of the guns I had from the beginning of the game, basically, I still never made any progress on. And that's all there is to it. Like, that's hard. Some were easy, some were hard, whatever. Maybe you just gotta take the time and effort to really focus on them. Some of them you do, some of them you don't. It was weird. Like, sometimes you could get some of the best things at the beginning, and some things you got at the beginning, you even if you use them the entire time, you would never really like max them out, which is weird. Um, but overall, I'm not gonna give it a number rating. I don't know if I do that in, I don't remember if I do that in other stuff. I probably do, but I don't feel like that is right here. If you can consider it for its own thing and not expect it to be like other Saints games, which, in all fairness, I feel like most Saints games tend to do that. This one just sort of seemed like it was backpedaling. Um, it was still fun for me, especially free. And I like that I could have multiple versions of my same character if I wanted. Like I could literally make myself from male
I'm
to
really
female.
absorbing the ambiance.
I could change not just my clothes but my face. I could if I wanted to I could play a like Bruce Banner turns into the Hulk, you know, if I wanted to. And I thought that was cool and I enjoyed the game as for what it was. So the art's great. It was fun. Oh, I got 100,000. Man, I spent a lot of money upgrading my shit in that last mission, didn't I? Okay, cool. Sucks that you only have 20 levels to XP up to, but I think there's probably like DLC, which I probably won't get, but I liked it. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. Again, this is all coming from after it's already been sort of tweaked and fixed and, you know, updated and all that. Now I get the Nuwali knife and Nuwali pistol and all, like that's Young Men Dead, the Black Angels. I don't know. And now I can. Oh, cool. Everything's $1 million. Well, I don't want to spend $1 million for everything. That's the exact opposite the type of place I want to be. Like, fucking, I'd rather go to Dollar Tree, not everything's $1 million tree. But I am happy that I went back to, I got the Trophy Urn Showdown. Back to like the version of the boss that I had when I met Nuwali and like got him out and stuff and did all that. You know, when I started to kind of run the Saints and shit, because I feel like I like that. I like that you can sort of role play, like that I had the ability to sort of switch between ones. Like, oh, I'm going to hang out with Eli, so this is what I'm wearing. And I've like tailored my outfit to him. I think that's really cool. I think it would have been nice to have more loyalty missions. I think that's what they were called. But I don't know. I don't think the game deserved all the hate it got, but I also didn't play it on day one. So I'm personally happy with what I got, and Nana Yata! I did it! There could have been more emotes, there could have been more dances, there could have been more whatever. I like the ones they did include, and there's a lot of Easter eggs out there that I haven't personally seen, but I know exist, and I'm gonna have to go find them maybe if I feel like it. I started this basically from almost day one of this month, and I've spent most this month playing it, and I've enjoyed it. I like that you can change your character. I liked it. I thought this was cool. The story could have been better, but the characters were good. I don't really like that they turned Nuwali, that he's like, oh, I'm gonna be crazy at the end and try to steal your place, even though nobody obviously likes this. That I'm not so into. It does seem rushed, but I get that it makes sense that would be rushed. because of the whole crunch time and them trying to get this out. Um, as it is, I don't know. I felt like it was a good game. Was it? I feel like it's one of those, like, not like a triple A game, but like a double A game. You know, it's one of those mid tier. I think it probably would have done better if they hadn't tried to shoot so hard and kind of sold it for less. Like, what was it, Maneater? I really, really enjoyed that one. Um, and then added stuff later. But I don't control the game like Sphere. I don't control the all that. I enjoyed it, and I think it was fun. And I would suggest it for anybody who's able to get it for cheap, you know, at this point. And I really hope that somehow the Volition crew and stuff, whoever, you know, all the people that were in the credits that made this are able to make more of it, or at least a spiritual sequel, you know, because of legal reasons or whatever. But if any of them are hearing this, which nobody is, but thank you. I had fun. Was it the best game I've ever played? No. That's a dumb thing to expect from any game. I don't even know what I would say if it was the best game. Like, the best game ever. I don't even know. Everybody's got their own, and very few people actually probably have just one. But did I enjoy it? Yeah. Was it fun? Yeah. Like, yeah. Have I completed it 100%? No. Is it better than a lot of games that are like this? Yes. Is it GTA whatever? No. It's not supposed to. It would never. That's not ever what these games were about, in my opinion. They're supposed to be silly and stupid and over the top and sexual and gross and, you know, fart jokes and toilet humor and absurdity and zaniness. And was that as realized as past games? No. But if you can just accept it for what it is on its own, I think there's something very much here to enjoy. And I think the balancing and everything is pretty fair. They don't make it so that you have to play a certain way. I bounced around a bunch of different ways, and my only real problem is that I tend to grind too much, and I ended up... I didn't know how far along I was until I was like, oh, I think I'm almost done. No, it seems like there's a bunch more. Oh, wait, no, there isn't. That was a little whatever, but... More hairstyles. You know, the more weapons. Specifically of bladed melee type combat. They did focus a lot on guns, and then basically it turns out there's like, well, basically you just don't ever need to use those guns. Like, they just get obsolete as soon as you get a better one. Like, there's almost no reason to ever use a lot of them. Same for the melee weapons, unless you just choose them. Like, I tried to use the pickaxe, but But for what it's worth, I enjoyed the game. Thank you for making it. If anybody who made it hears it, and honestly, anybody who doesn't, just, you know, get it on Game Pass or whatever. It could be worth your time. It could be. I thought it was fun. I got invested in each of the characters, the side characters, like and I think that's not something that happens as much. Doesn't happen enough in gaming anymore. I don't care about a lot of the other side characters anymore, and I cared here. I cared about all of them. Even Nuwali, who fucked me over. So, I guess that's my review. I enjoyed the game. I would